Hi everybody and a very warm welcome to my channel Mom Chipper. Today I have a very enterprising personality on my show and I'm super excited to host her on Mom Chipper. She's a serial entrepreneur, she's a writer, she's a blogger, she's an artist, a mom, and the loving Anupama auntie to so many children whom she's mentoring through her venture Beyond the Box. She has also been actively involved in a variety of social causes, including empowering women in a lot of different ways. She's a Shiro's champion and a super inspiring change maker. And she's none other than Anupama Dalmia. So please help me welcome Anupama. Hi Anupama, welcome to my show.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, same here actually. Okay, so for my viewers, I just want to say that all the links to Anupama's, blog and other initiatives like Beyond the Box, you would find below in the description box. This is for you to actually go ahead and check out her blog and check out all the different things that she's doing and championing. Right, Anupama. So let us just begin. Okay, let us begin right from the start. All our viewers, including me, actually want to know. Tell us about your story. On how you began your journey. And then became a mom blogger, an influencer, and that too a very impactful one, and an entrepreneur. And also, now that you look back, at your decision of following the passion, how do you actually feel? More so because you have actually earned a very rightful place and a very valid place in our society today. And that was a very long question, but let us take it from you. Okay.
No, not at all. Actually, I'm glad actually you asked me this question because somewhere it also, makes me revisit the things, how they actually happened in my life. Right. So I have done my computer engineering from Pune University, and then I went on to do my MBA in Systems and Finance from Ahmedabad. And after that, very natural progression was, to take up the campus placement. So I got placed at Infosys during MBA through campus placements, and I joined there as a consultant. Wow. So it was the very typical journey all of us are encouraged to have, or rather were encouraged to have during those times. It was always about just get this stable, nice, job.
Right.
So, yeah, I did that because even though I was a very creatively inclined person during my growing years, and I used to often, in fact, tell my mom that, maybe I want to become a choreographer or maybe I want to do something else. And she would always say, see, you do whatever you want to do, but first you get a stable job for yourself. And then after that, you do whatever you want to do, because those times were different. And though my parents have been very supportive throughout, but I think somewhere they also wanted to look at it practically.
Right.
So I took that route, and I was doing well in Infosys, unlike what a lot of people think that, maybe she was frustrated with her job and that's why she left. It wasn't exactly that. I was enjoying my work there. I was also doing well in terms of the promotions and everything else. Right. But it's just that over the years, like I worked at Infosys for 6.5 years, and I realized with time that somehow it's not giving me the kind of high which, doing something that I really love would have given me. Especially, I realized that when we were in Australia, actually, that time on a project, both my husband and and I did this very big major presentation. I represented my unit at a SAP conference, and it was a huge thing actually, and I was getting appreciation from all the top management, but I was not feeling that thrill. I think that moment made me realize that even after this kind of an achievement, why is it that, I'm not getting that kind of thrill and kick? And I think that's when I started pondering, and, that introspection led me to decide that, see, if I don't do something now to pursue my own interests and passions, then who's going to, right? So, yeah, that's how I went and told my husband that, okay, I want to resign. And I was expecting like a very strong reaction, but thankfully he is a huge pillar, actually in my life in terms of especially my journey. Mm-hmm. So he said that, yeah, of course, if you feel that way, let's come and do the calculations because, we all have even financial responsibilities. So, yes, we did our calculations that, we can manage. And he assured me that, okay, I'm earning and I'll take care of all the expenses. So now you do whatever you want to do the way you want to do. So that was a huge assurance for me. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, so once that decision was taken, and I'm a kind of person that once I take a decision, I don't keep brooding over it or, whether I'm doing the right thing or not. Lelia. If it's not right, there's always you can always come up with some other plan. So
Right.
yeah, so I was very clear that once I've decided I'm going to stick to it. I received a lot of like support as well, but there was this huge section which felt that, what is this? What are you doing? Such a foolish decision. In fact, there were many who felt that, oh, maybe she wants to plan a baby. That's why, she's resigned. And, so you know how it is, right, in our society. But
Mm.
I thought that, my job is just to do what I want to do. And I focused on those who were supporting me. So that's how it all started slowly. So when I resigned, actually, the first thing I did was to pursue my career in the field of dancing, actually, because I am a trained dancer and that has been a huge passion. Writing actually did not happen immediately at that time. So I pursued dancing, and then also I wanted to do something in the social space. I mean, because for me, the huge turning point was actually Nirbhaya's incident when that happened. And I had resigned actually the next month. I mean, basically, when that happened, the next month is when I filed my e-resignation. And somewhere that I had that in mind that, I have to do something. Not just like I didn't want to just sit in crib at home. Like I was like, no, I have to go down and do something on the ground.
Mm.
So I started volunteering with an NGO, and I worked in the rehabilitation of human trafficking survivors at that point. And that experience actually has helped me a lot to do all the different things I'm doing today in the social space, because you learn so much. You learn how to
Right.
talk to people going through a problem.
Mm.
So yeah, that's how it started. And then at the same time, I realized that, my mom also has been away from her passion because she was so focused on us, like, raising the kids and family. So we launched Tingle Your Taste Buds, which is a cookery website, which is run by my mom and me. So these three things I started in parallel. But writing actually happened after my daughter was born, because it was my husband actually who pushed me to it, because when he read some of the poems I wrote for my daughter, he was like, I think, why don't you write well? Why don't you try blogging?
Right.
Yeah, that's how, I mean, he pushed me into it. I was not very keen, but the first blog that I published, it was selected as one of the top articles on, Mom's Press. So at that time, it was My City for Kids. So
Mm.
he was like, see, I told you that you write well. And yeah, then there was no looking back.
Mhm.
Things just kept happening one after the other. And uh, I think rest is for everybody to, like, they've already seen what the journey has
Kind
been.
of work, right? Absolutely. I think that's a very, very amazing and an inspiring story, Anupama. And especially, I got very influenced by the fact that, when you were at the peak of your career, you took a tough decision. Of course, it wasn't easy because the kind of money that was flowing
Right.
in, right, every month, and then the appreciation that you were getting already at work. But at that time, choosing your passion, I think takes a lot of courage. And awesome. I mean, I'm so happy and glad to know that things, what do you say? Log milte rahe and karma banta. I mean, those
Yeah,
things
yeah.
you kept on getting and moving forward. So amazing, awesome. Yeah. Okay. And also, another thing that I want to say here is that I'm sure this is going to inspire a lot of women, because, our channel is mostly for women, especially stay-at-home moms, who have left work or who are wanting to start something, right? So this is going to inspire a lot of them to pursue their own passions in their own lives. So, yeah, thank you for that answer. Right. Okay. Moving on, Anupma. We know that you've been closely involved, with kids via Beyond the Box. Okay. So tell us, how can we create a conducive environment and an empowering environment for kids, in which they nurture. And I ask this, in the specific context of our world becoming so dynamic. So, changes are coming so fast. It's so competitive. New careers are coming up and everything. So how can we actually focus on nurturing and letting our kids thrive rather than, going after the competition?
Right. Right. That's a very valid question. And I think it's like, of course, I am a mother as well, and also a mentor to so many children. So I kind of have, both of those perspectives. And actually, just going a little back, that, the reason I started working with children was because what had happened was, see, I, of course, had by then established myself somewhat as a blogger. And a lot of my friends here in my society, they started pushing me that, you write well and there's no one really to guide kids on creative writing. So why don't you do it? And then I did a workshop, and it was great fun. Like, I enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. So definitely I realized that this is something I would love to do. But one important thing which I realized at that time was that there is this huge gap between, how like say the academics, or the way, see, that's a different world when kids are going to school. There's academics, this and that, and I realized that there is a side to kids which they don't even get the chance to explore, or even like there's no pause. Like basically, if you ask kids something about themselves, are they really getting that time to think of it? Like, are they getting time to introspect? So I realized that I use the medium of creative writing to encourage them to do that. And to answer your question, I feel one of the most important things that we can do in this kind of like, as you said, competitive environment, to nurture them, I think the biggest thing we can do is to connect them to themselves, like, and ask them to look within, because we are constantly looking outside, right? See, that person is doing this, see, that is happening, you must do that. Where is that introspection, right? So I think this is something I realized actually as a mentor, and somewhere I have tried to also then reflect that in my parenting as well with my daughter. So for me, it happens, the learnings happen both ways, that some things I kind of realize with my daughter, and then I bring that into myself as a mentor, and sometimes it's the other way around. So yeah, this is something I feel that we need to encourage kids to understand themselves, what they really are, what they really enjoy. I think that sets the base for everything else, because then they also learn to focus within rather than getting too influenced by outside things. They will like today, my daughter, she knows what she truly is, what she loves. And I see that at the age of 6.5 also, she has that level of understanding to not get influenced very easily, that, oh, that person is doing this, so I should be doing. And I think somewhere I will credit a little bit of my parenting for that yes, I have encouraged her to always look within and understand herself. So I think this competitive thing comes from adults, more than kids feeling it themselves. So we need to change our own attitude, the way we look at how we nurture their talent, their skills. So yeah, because even if I talk about my experiences as a mentor, I see so many parents going the line of, Arey, he got this, but my child didn't get this. So you are starting that competition yourself first, right? So I think that we have to change. We have to change the attitude, and yes, we have to let the child be. And I think once the child knows what they really want to do, or what they are as people, it automatically kind of helps them to grow there, because then we just guide them to grow. The push comes from within, right? For themselves. So yeah, I think, according to me, I think this sets the base, and of course then there are many other things that we can do, but this, according to me, is the most important thing that
yeah, absolutely. I'm completely sold on this answer, Anupama. Actually, in my parenting workshops on Mom Chipper that I take for elder kids, like, for parents of teens, I always, focus on the fact that the parenting has to start from within you. Actually, you cannot have the so once you change your own thinking of not comparing your child, or not talking about where the world is going, where the marks and the cutoff lists are going, those are the kind of things that put pressure onto kids as well. And another gold point that you actually gave me is that yes, we have to start connecting kids to themselves. That's, I think, and that works on so many layers, right? Not just like in academic environment, or not just for their careers, but for having for being a complete individual, because they'll be then motivated from inside, as you said, right? I mean, and we are not dependent on others to appreciate us. And then things like bullying and peer pressure really don't bother them much, because they are internally very strong. So awesome, amazing, amazing thought process there, I must say. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Okay, in a world that is constantly telling us moms, okay, to be more perfect, to be more healthy, to be more successful, to be more sacrificing, to be more, more of everything, be more kind, be more generous, be more patient, right? I feel that it really takes courage, to push away all these kinds of stress and pressures from others and stand as you, right? So and I've seen from your work, right, that you have done this beautifully. So I really want to know, what has been your inspiration? Where do you actually find courage to just be you?
Thank you so much for that. And I think a major part of that inspiration actually comes from my daughter, I would say, because I'll be very honest. There was a time even I was also like that, in the sense I also took that pressure of being this, perfect super mom, and I should be doing this and I should be doing that. I think when my daughter was about around 1.5 years old, I had this moment when I realized that who am I need to, like for whom I need to be this best
Right.
mom or super mom, or whom do I want to impress? Because I am my daughter's mom. And for me, nothing else should matter except what she thinks of me as a mom. And I don't know, I just had this light bulb moment, just bolte hai na, like you have this light bulb moment. So I think I had that moment, thankfully, very, very early in my parenting journey as, a mom. And
Hmm.
I realized that it is all, society's this pedestal and, all that undue pressure which it puts on moms. It just takes away from what we are. And in fact, I was also told by so many people that you should now forget about your career for 10 years or, whatever, because
Hmm.
now mom means you need to be doing this. People don't stop from guilt tripping you. And I think the reason I could shed that inhibition or guilt, as they say, the motherhood guilt
Right.
completely, is that I started looking things from the perspective of my daughter. Because she didn't need a super mom. Kids don't need super moms. Kids just need love. They need, that bonding moment. They need to create memories. That's it. So when I realized that, yeah, she's so happy when I spend time with her, and she's fine otherwise. Like I mean, for example, I'll just give an example, which I often give, that, there was a day when I was very, very busy. I had an event and I also had a class, and my
Right.
cook suddenly didn't turn up. And I made Maggie because there was no option that time. So normally people would think that, oh, kaisi maa hai, you can't give healthy food to your child.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed that Maggie moment so much. We bonded over having Maggie together. And I mean, for me, I think that matters more. It doesn't matter what society thinks I should be doing as a mom. I think as long as I'm able to create that bond with my daughter, as long as, we have that understanding, and touch with my daughter and I are like friends in a way, I would say. So yeah, I mean, I think that gives me a lot of inspiration, that yes, at the moment I start looking at things from her perspective, I realized that, yeah, I don't, need to succumb to any stereotypes or, all those expectations. And that's how, and I really wish, and truly, I'll just use this platform as an opportunity to tell all moms who are watching that please shed the motherhood guilt which is put into us by society, family, sometimes our own selves also, because it's natural. Because you are all wonderful moms, and there's no perfect mom. So yeah, just be yourself. Don't be afraid to fail as a mom. It's absolutely okay. We are humans, and yeah, just enjoy that process and be what you are also. Because it's important for children also to see that we are valuing ourselves and we are living for ourselves. Today my daughter sees that, yes, for my mom, even her career is important. Like, she knows, of course, she's priority, but then when she sees that, yes, for her own identity, her own career is also important, she's also taking that message, and I want her to take that message. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's what I would.
Completely there. Yeah, I think you said it so beautifully there that kids really don't need super moms. Kids don't really bother about the labels that the society give us. They just need their mom, a loving mom and a happy mom. So a lot of times, we get, as you said, on guilt trip, or we get even depressed looking at, if we are, suppose if you are if one is a stay at home mom and she's not able to work because her kid is so small. We have those kind of feelings inside us, that we,
Right.
feelings of worthlessness, or feelings of what value am I creating and all that. But I think for your kid, you are the most loving person on this earth, and really nothing matters. I mean,
Yeah,
I
true.
would say, I would go to the extent saying that even what your spouse thinks, what kind of a parent you are, that also does not matter, because
Yeah, I agree completely to that, because I think more often than not, you will definitely have arguments also, maybe with spouses, but natural, right? Sometimes there
Right.
might be, but it doesn't matter ultimately. It's about how the child perceives it, and how the child. I think that bonding is the most important, according to me, between the mom and the child.
Right, absolutely. Agree. Great. Okay. So, we'll just take this thought forward actually. And I want to know what kind of relationship you share, with your daughter. You said 6.5 years old.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts, on parenting in modern times? is there a need to change our traditional ways? Are there some new things, or are there any routines that you know do with your daughter, which you feel that has helped your bond with her?
Yeah. You see, with changing times, parenting has to change. It's a very natural thing. We cannot be parenting the way our parents used to parent us. And thankfully, in my case, my mom and my mother-in-law, and they realize it. So they have never interfered, like, in my style. Otherwise, I know that a lot of times that becomes a big struggle, right? Where they would say that, okay, no, this is the right thing to do, and we would not want to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, parenting has to change. There's no two ways about it. We cannot be saying that, oh, but, during those times, so that it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I'll just give a small example, of about slapping children, say, because people say that we have been slapped, so it's okay to slap. See, you have to realize that there are a lot of things which change with time. Perspectives change, the environment changes. Today we have technology. There are many other things that have come into picture today, right? Kids have access to so much of information. So definitely the way we parent has to change. I feel that in today's times, the most important thing is the openness you have with the child. I think that, because it's such that, like I said, they have access to so much of information that I want that my child ask me anything openly, rather than going her ways of finding it in different ways, and suddenly one fine day we discover, oh my god, this, or you've been. So I think that openness to establish that. Now, see, you could be a strict parent, you could be lenient parent. That's a different thing altogether in terms of, the disciplining and all.
Right.
But the communication, I think, has to be open, definitely today. The child should be comfortable sharing anything with you. And I think, just to give an example again, like a lot of times we may do things like, we'll tell the children that, okay, you come and tell me the truth. I'll not say anything. Now, suppose the child has said the truth and then you again react. So the child is losing that trust. So I think these little things is what I take care of as a parent. As I told you even earlier, that I have a very friendly bond with my child, even though she's quite small now to be friends in that sense. But yes, we are quite, we open, we have loads of fun, and she's a little more, I would say, slightly more perceptive according to her age. So for 6.5, she's a little more, like we jokingly call her Dadi Amma. Because
It's a
she
genuine
understands.
thing. Now the kids are smarter on all
Yeah,
sense, on all
absolutely.
the areas. So it's not
Absolutely.
particular to your
Absolutely.
child. Yeah.
Exactly. So, so I have every conversation with her. I never shoo away her for questions. So she, for example, knows about homosexuality, So a lot of people tell me, you're talking to her about that. See, I'm like, I don't go and talk to her. It happens naturally. And I never refuse to answer any of her questions, because again, I don't want that when she grows up, then she feels that, oh, mama anyways will not answer me. So, I should.
Yeah.
So at a according to her age, basically the level at which I feel she can understand certain things, tell her. I don't hide anything from her. So she knows about the homosexuality. She understands menstruation to some extent. Like she knows that, yeah, we get periods. So a lot of these things. So I talk to her. So I think this talking and, keeping that communication open and also having a lot of fun together, that's what we do. And we are very crazy. Like, we just, so yeah, that's how it is. And we pull each other's legs also. So yeah, I think I'm trying my best, to make it very healthy for her, basically, as she grows, that kind of environment. And yeah, I just hope I succeed and she can go, like, grow up and say that, yes, okay, I have a good mom.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But and also, you said 6. So 6 to 8, like 5 to 8, actually are very foundational years for
Yes.
kids, and this is the time when this is the time to build trust, as you said, and work on the bond, so that when they grow up to be in tweens and teens, and when they are loaded with so much of
Right.
information from all corners of the world, uh, you know. They have one relationship to fall back on. So this is what I actually focused on in my parenting journey. So my daughter is now 14, and
Lovely.
this is what my intent has been, that at least at this age, if she has anything,
Yes.
even if she's facing any kind of challenges, problems, or she's not understanding something, she can come back and speak to me. So
Exactly. And I think in teen age, all the more it becomes so important, because that's the age when so many changes happen. They understand so much more. So I think the foundation that built like on this thing on, I think now you will probably feel that yes, it's
Yeah, yeah, I'm at
beneficial.
ease now because I when I get to hear lot of challenges that other parents do face, I really feel that it is worthwhile to invest at the right time and
Yes,
build that understanding and strong bond with your
correct,
child,
correct.
because this is the time when like teenage, your influence is very very minimal in a kid's life. I mean, more
Absolutely.
dependent on her friends and social media
Right.
and all kinds of other things. So yeah, at that point, if you start, it's gonna be a little difficult and challenging thing. But
Yeah. Yeah.
nevertheless, I mean, it's never too late to start. Even if like you are in teenage and you can still work on your bond
Of
with your
course. Of
daughter.
course.
But yeah, lovely. Okay, okay. So now I'm coming to a very controversial question. Okay, and I will make sure that I ask all the guests who come. Okay, all the women and moms who have come to my show. I want to know your thoughts on, can women have it all?
Okay, I mean, I understand why you say it's a controversial question. And see, I know when we say this about women having it all, we intend it the right way.
Hmm.
But I truly wish for a time when I mean, we never asked, do men have it all or can men have it all? And I'll be very honest here. See, women are humans,
Hmm.
and a human cannot have it all. Forget about women, men. So I'll be very honest. That's my thought process, that you cannot have it all.
Hmm.
It's about prioritizing. To me, life is all about prioritizing. I'll give you my example. I have a wonderful support system. I know a lot of women don't even have that. So my
Hmm.
husband is so
Right.
supportive. My family is supportive,
Hmm.
but yet I have hectic work schedules because I myself have chosen to be in so many lines of work. I have a daughter, and now even the house helps have not been coming because of COVID, so there's housework. So I have now cut down a lot on, say, time with friends. I mean, I'm not able to spend that kind of time with them as much as probably I would have liked to, because I love spending time with friends and watching movies or whatever. So I think life is always all about prioritizing.
Hmm.
So this question, I just feel it's problematic in general. What we ask always, that why should women be expected to have it all? Let her decide what she wants to have and what she doesn't want to have.
Hmm.
If see, the thing is, we when we ask this question, we are putting the onus of everything on women.
Right.
Why put that onus on them? So let them not have it all. It's absolutely okay. If you feel, I don't want to cook and I want to have a cook, fine. See, I'm like that. I cook when of course now during COVID there's no choice, so I've been cooking. But yeah, tomorrow when things are back to normal, I would love to have someone help me with cooking, and I wouldn't want to do that. Maybe some other woman would love to do it.
Hmm.
So I think, let's not push women to have it all. Let us in fact work towards creating an ecosystem where each person can have what they want to have, and all can never. Yeah, I mean, it's practical, right? At one
Yeah,
point of
yeah.
time, I think none of
Right.
us
I
can.
got your point, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I just put, can I pose my question in a little form as well? Because the intent of me putting this question was that, a lot of us, especially I've been like a stay-at-home mom for more than 10 years now, okay? And one thing that has, I have had in me every day of those 10 years, I don't remember even one single day when I've not tried that, I want to work, why am I stuck at home? Because my, child was not well. She's had two surgeries and there were other reasons, and I didn't
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
support
I'm
system
sure.
and
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Something or the other goes
So,
on. Yeah.
yeah, so that need was literally killing me from inside, and I was depressed and so many other things. So and I wanted to work, but then there was no way that I could actually
Yes.
find, go ahead and do what I wanted to do. And then blogging happened, and work from home started and stuff. So my question was more from the point of view that, is it possible for women to work and at the same time have family with them, right? I mean, the
Yes.
support, and have a
Yeah, I
strong
think
bond
it
with
is.
the child,
Yeah.
and have all the important things run parallelly in her life.
Yeah, it
Right.
is possible. See, we are doing it, like I'm doing it, right? In a way. I mean, of course, I wouldn't say I'm acing everything, but yes, I am probably able to give time to my work, to my daughter, to some extent. Yeah, whatever is important, like, in the
Right.
family time. And so, yes, I think from that point of view, we can. And I think what is really required there is, again, see, we all have to step up as a society, because,
Mm.
like I was even telling you earlier, the lack of support system, I think, demotivates,
Hmm.
because I, as a part of my work, I have been working with a lot of women too, so I interact with them on everyday basis, and I know that this is a huge challenge where they don't have the support of their own,
Yeah.
and that can be very demotivating, for women. So I think yes, they can have it all, but provided, I think, yes, I think I would just say that the men also need to step up, or even the
Hmm.
others. Here I would like to just talk about sisterhood. I always, I think in all of my interviews I talk about it, because I just am such a huge advocate of it, because I think that the kind of energy, the kind of motivation, the kind of support we can derive from our female friends is just something altogether different, from everything else. And I would suggest that, if at all there are women who feel bogged down, who feel that probably they are not somehow able to, find that confidence to do something for themselves as well, uh, look to your friends, or maybe this, circle of sisterhood that you might have. Any woman. There are, in fact, so many support groups also these days. You will find many practical ideas and suggestions on, how you can effectively somewhat,
Hmm.
manage. And I think it's also important to take um, these again, the expectations less seriously. So yes, to have it all, again, you have to kind of see what is truly important. For example, if your wardrobe is in a mess and you're okay with it, let it be in a mess. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that, I think, you have to
Right.
basically plan in such a way that yes, the things which are truly important for you, you are focusing on that, and not getting to, and a lot of times what happens is the thinking bogs us down more, that okay, there's this and there's that, and can I do this? So just take it a day at a time. Try, give yourself that chance. So I think yes, in that, from that perspective, they can definitely have it all, and in fact I think they should have it all. That's why I was saying that, I hope more and more moms shed that guilt and embrace what they are, and so they have their own individuality and identity also, apart from, of course, the wife or mom or whatever, the other roles that they're playing.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, awesome. Okay. And with this, actually, I'll just address the viewers here that, dear moms, please take your inspiration, take the right takeaways from this interview, and go ahead and follow your passion, whatever you want to do. Start small, and, be a part of these communities that, even Anupama talked about, sisterhood. Look for your tribe and be surrounded by people who are empowering you, but just take those steps towards being you. Okay, awesome. So next question to me, no, next question from me to you is, what does it take to be a successful mom blogger in India? And do you think that it's a viable career option, especially for women and moms who are, trying out their second innings or returning back to work after motherhood or sabbatical?
This is a very interesting question. In fact, just yesterday, there was somebody who was asking me that there are so many bloggers today, like every second or third person you meet is a blogger. So, how does one really stand out, and whether there's really a scope of getting a certain kind of readership? So, I'm glad that you asked this. So, firstly, I would say that more than a career option, I would anyways encourage moms who would love to write. Of course, not everybody would, but yeah, who have a passion for writing or who generally want to express, I would encourage them to become a mom blogger if that is something they find their interest in, because the profession part and the viability, all that comes later. But I think first of all, it will empower you a lot, because you will realize that you have this space which is yours, where you can share everything you want to. You will find your voice, you will find your tribe, and it will I think benefit you in a lot of intangible ways. So yes, from that aspect, definitely I would, say that become a mom blogger. And I think it's a great thing that we have so many mom bloggers coming up today. Of course, I think to become a good mom blogger, for me, at least, I'll just talk from my own experience as a blogger and influencer, that I think what is most important is to maintain your own individuality in terms of, how, what you are. Like, be very honest to what you are, be very honest to what you project.
Hmm.
And be, I think integrity matters a lot when it comes to blogging. And, because I think your followers or readers, for them, because see, content they'll find at a lot of places, but what will make you stand out is your style, your integrity, and the way you connect with
Right.
your readers. So yeah, I think it takes that for sure. And of course, writing skills and all are very obvious things. But yeah, more than that, I feel this is important, because I don't do any brand endorsements for brands which I don't believe in,
Yeah.
because I know that my readers, or my followers, they trust me immensely. Matlab, I have had people tell me that, when we see your name, we know, okay, this is genuine. So I cannot betray them, so I cannot like mislead them. So yeah, I think these things matter a lot about, that's why I was talking about integrity. So yes, that it, because see, the moment there are too many of something, like, so there are so many mom bloggers, people will definitely start looking for these things, because they want some uniqueness, right? And I think, yeah, don't follow what somebody else is doing. Just do your thing, basically, so because somebody is successful doing reels, for example, nowadays Instagram reels are in. So if you think reels don't come naturally to you, don't have to zabardasti jump onto the bandwagon.
Mm.
Just maintain your style, and I think, yes, the people who love you, read you, they will come to you for that. So your content should be reflective of what you are as a person. And yeah, in terms of the viability, yes, it is a good career option for sure, especially because it gives you flexibility of working from home. I mean, I think especially for those who have younger kids, who cannot really take out that level of like time probably for something full time. I think it's a great way to start off. And what happens, when you start blogging, you actually build I would say, some kind of a portfolio which actually helps you with many other things also in the future. Like, say, for example, now today I'm also an entrepreneur and I run 3 ventures, but my blogs and, my blogging like experience helps me even there somewhat. Like, you connect with so many people. That's your portfolio. You can always showcase it. So from career point of view, I would say, yes, it's great. It's just that you need the right kind of guidance, because I know that a lot of people come and tell me that, because there are so many options these days, they feel a little lost. So what I would suggest is, if possible, do a very, maybe you can do a blogging course, or you can probably just do a workshop, or you can maybe, if you have a friend who is into this, like, a lot of my friends who start now, they ask me, and which is fine. So if you know somebody who has been into this, get some kind of guidance from them, so that you at least know what things are, and then you can take your decisions accordingly. But if you're good, definitely slowly you can do a lot more things in this field. So I would say that, yeah, if you have a penchant for writing, please go and create your blog. Trust me, you will thank me later.
Awesome, awesome. That's a lovely answer. And yes, I agree to what you said. That it actually is a reflective of your blog. Is basically a very reflective of your personality, and it is a portfolio that even tomorrow, if you want to go and join the corporate world, you can just share your writings or your book that you have.
Yeah.
There's so many. They act as your visiting card, and as your portfolio, as you say.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, that brings me to interesting question again. Okay, what are your thoughts on being authentic? I think partly we have just touched upon that
Yeah.
when you said integrity, but let's just delve a little more into it. So being authentic, especially now when there are so many social media influencers all around. Okay, and do you think that it is important for one person to be authentic if he wants to build a sustainable, business or brand or personal brand or influence on?
Yeah. See, I think in today's times, actually, that is the most important thing, more than your talent. Because, see, talent, most people do have, of course, everybody is good. But I think your authenticity, and it's not just about blogging, anything you do, because even as an entrepreneur or whatever you're doing, basically, people will look for that authenticity. And, sometimes people ask me, what is the meaning of authentic? Like, when you say be authentic, what do you mean? So I always say that, see, there are two aspects to it. Like, one is, of course, about the example which I was giving of, say, not doing endorsements for
Hmm.
products which I don't use. So
Right.
that is authenticity from the point of view of the readers or the followers, or say if it's a brand, then the buyers or customers. So don't mislead them. Be very honest about the information you're giving or whatever you're claiming. So that is one aspect of authenticity. The other is being authentic to your own self. So don't pretend to be somebody you're not. It will show. And I personally feel that readers or followers are smart, and eventually they do catch this. So
Yes.
be authentic to your own self. You don't have to do everything which is in trend. If it doesn't suit you, you don't have to I always I said this recently also in one of my other workshops that I was doing, that especially from talking from the aspect of social media,
Right.
that don't run after or follow social media. Let your social media follow what you are, like, because otherwise we'll just keep running after it. It never ends. Every platform will come with something new. Every platform will change its algorithm. Till when are you going to keep running? So let your social media actually follow what you are, and that's what will authentically reflect. So yeah, that's what I feel about authenticity. And as I said, I think in my own journey, if somebody today asks me what's the secret, one thing I definitely feel, see, it's not that I'm a very great writer and others are not, or I mean, see, everybody is good, but I think one thing which has truly been a factor in whatever I've achieved till date, is this authenticity. Because I know that people have that kind of, and that's why I keep saying that, I always take it as a huge responsibility also, that yes, I cannot mislead them or let them down. So that's what I feel about authenticity.
That's awesome. I think that is reflective of your values and ethics, in business. I'm mighty impressed, Anupama. And that's one
Oh,
point
thank
I'm
you so
taking
much.
back. Like, there's so many new things every day. There's a new thing. One platform is coming up with reels. The other one is coming with even Twitter has, right? And then the
Yeah. So
TikTok
there's
and
Twitter space now, and I was just
God.
discussing about it, a while back with a friend.
Yeah, so there's so much to do, and once you are in this field, so blogging is just not about writing, as you know. There's so much more to it. So you obviously get
Right,
distracted.
right.
आज ये कर लो, कल ये कर लो, परसों ये कर लो, and then consistency breaks. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I just feel that, be aware of everything, but yeah, do what you are comfortable with, what comes naturally to you. And that's what I feel is authenticity. That, you don't try to pretend to be what you're not. Just do what
right.
comes naturally to you.
Awesome. Okay, so we are left with very less time. So quickly tell me two causes now that you really strongly believe and stand for, and you want to bring a change, in our community on those.
Right. Actually, this is a little tricky for me to answer because, see, for me, child empowerment and women empowerment, both are the things that I have been actively working on. And
Okay.
under that huge umbrella, of course, there are many things. And honestly speaking, I think I am, in a way, I want all of it to happen together, because, somewhere, even though the issues could be different, but they are all integrated into one
Hmm.
big umbrella. So, like, for example, I did a video content series last year, and I did touch upon a lot of topics from, say, women's health, to motherhood, to abuse, and yeah, there are like lots of issues. And I feel that it's difficult to pick because they all, like I said, ultimately impact each other in the larger scheme of things. So I would just broadly say yes, women and child empowerment, and in fact any minority community, actually, like the LGBTQ community also. I feel very strongly about that cause because I have friends,
Hmm.
who are from that community. And I just hope we can actually get to a world which is equal in the true sense. I know it will take a lot of time, but yeah, we can at least hope for that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay. With this, Anupama, we come to a very fun round. It's called rapid fire round. So no time given. Okay. I'll ask
Oh
you
God.
questions. Quickly, top of the mind, what you have, just tell us. And this is with the intent of knowing you as a person
Yeah.
beyond the work that you do. Okay. So my first question is: among my friends, I'm famous for that.
I'm famous for being the agony aunt because,
Okay.
generally when anybody has problems or anything, they would like come, and somehow that's how it has always been since childhood, that they come and share. So yeah, I would choose that. The other things everybody knows. So yeah, I just mentioned this.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So I have a confession to make.
I have a confession to make, that I can actually be very lazy. The reason I'm saying this is a confession is because somehow my image is not like that.
Yeah,
so,
actually, same.
so one, like, yeah, I can be very lazy. And right now, let me tell you that, the part of the room that you cannot see is in a huge mess. So yeah, that's my
That's
confession.
okay. Same here. Give me high five. Same. Okay, so this only the half thing which is visible is all clean and neat.
Yeah, exactly.
Clothes are all, on the floor. Okay. So 10 years ago, I never could have imagined that.
Mm. I never could have imagined that a Google search on my name would yield so many search results, because, yeah, of course, things have changed drastically from then to now. So I'm very grateful to, God and family and friends for that, truly.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. I would never forget the first time that.
I held my baby in my arms. I think that moment, like, I just cannot forget.
Yeah. That's the same answer that I get from all the moms. I think that is one.
Yeah, of course. Because see, that is a very special moment. Like,
I know. Okay. I was brought up to believe dash, but I'm crushing the stereotype big time now.
I was brought up to believe, and I just want to clarify here that I wasn't brought up by my parents to believe like that because they were quite open-minded. But generally, how society is, and then you perceive certain things. So yeah, I was brought up to believe that the ideal woman is the one who takes care of home very well, and who is very homely. And yes, I am shattering it big time because I'm not that homely anymore. In fact, my husband is more domestic than me. I keep telling people he is so much more into the except the cooking part, of course, I take care of because I manage it well when he's busy, but the rest of the things he is more domestic than me. He'll be like, I'll take care of it, don't worry. So yes,
I think this pandemic has actually taught or I should say this pandemic has brought men out of their shells, and they are actually now becoming hands-on.
But in my case, I'm fortunate that my husband was always like that because he has been brought up very differently. So my my in-laws, my parents-in-laws, they used to encourage all. So there are 3 brothers, and they would always say that no, all 3 have to do your share of household work. So I'm really grateful to them for that. That it was instilled right from childhood.
Nice. Okay, something you could never guess about me is.
I sing decently well, but please don't ask me to sing now. But yeah, I think because I don't have that kind of a sweet voice, so yeah, maybe people would not expect that of me, but I can sing. In fact, I wanted to learn music as well. It just somehow did not happen. So yeah, I'm not so basura basically. I can manage to sing.
Nice. Okay. Dash is my biggest critic.
I think my mom, not in a negative way, but yeah, she's someone who's very honest. Like, I think somehow what happens is the friends and others, they're always very positive and nice and sweet. So somewhere she brings that objectivity, in my life about being very honest and upfront about what she feels.
Right. Okay. Nice. So what's that one superpower you wish you had?
Reading the minds of people, being a writer, I think that would help me a lot in my, writing stories or whatever, like just understanding, how the human mind works and what thoughts go on in the minds of people. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm just, okay. I'll, after I finish the interview, I'll think about it, but it looks, like to imagine, it's very fascinating.
Yeah, exactly.
To know what is happening in the samne wala banda's mind and then the side wala banda's mind, and
yeah, you can see it maybe written somewhere or whatever. That would be interesting.
Okay. I dream of creating,
of course, I can't do it alone, but yes, I dream of creating a world which is truly equal, as I was saying before, because I really feel that, we have so many biases right now in the world, and I just wish that all of that can go away. I know it may take years and years and years, but yes, we all have to do it together. So that genuinely is my dream. I hope that happens someday.
Yeah. I think that dream is not very far because of moms like you, because we are rearing our children and raising our children with that mindset. So the next generation, we'll see a lot more equality and tolerance basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So my girl gang is.
So actually, I have multiple girl gangs. So I have a girl gang of, the friends in my society, for example. So they are, this village who have also been very integral part of my parenting journey. And yeah, we have great fun. And then I have a gang of, say, my college friends, and then there's this one of bloggers also, because I met them, a lot of them, and yes, with some I have forged very close bonds. So that's another girl gang of the writers and bloggers. So yes, I think I love all of them, and I can't do without my girl gang. My girl gang is my lifeline, truly.
Yeah, you actually, you seem like a people's person. Like this is the first time we are interacting, but the level of comfort that we have, it's pretty nice.
Yes, true.
Okay, so tell me, for self-care, I indulge in.
For self-care, I indulge in dancing. I somehow feel very connected to myself and happy when I dance. And other than that, I love to spend time with friends whenever possible, because I have a hectic schedule, so it's not possible every day as much. But yeah, whenever, I feel like winding down, I just have a chat with a friend, and it's always therapeutic. We do these fun, crazy conversations, and yeah, it's always fun.
Nice. Okay. This one would be a difficult one for you. Writing a blog or conducting a writing session.
Oh God, this is really. You
That's
put
a
me on a
difficult
spot there.
one.
But I think somewhere if I really have to choose, I will go with mentoring, because I think when you can impact somebody else's life, it just gives a different kind of high. Though of course I love writing, but then yeah, I mean, if it comes to really choose, I would choose the latter.
Yeah, right. Actually, the impact is much higher, when
Yes.
you're being, okay, great. Okay, so, and this is the last one. What would you rather skip, your morning dose of caffeine, breakfast, lunch, or supper?
Actually, this is also difficult for me because I'm a big time foodie and
Yeah.
I love my caffeine also. But yeah, if I have to really again skip something, I probably will skip caffeine, because food I can't leave. I'm like a real foodie. I love food. And yeah, in fact, one day I fast in the whole year, and even that day I find it very difficult to fast.
Yeah, it is difficult to fast. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would
Tea
probably
or
let go of the
coffee?
caffeine.
Is it tea or coffee?
Yeah, coffee. I don't have tea at all. So I'm not at all a tea person. In fact, sometimes I have tea at one of my friend's place. Like, she lives in my society, and she sometimes, forces me ki, chal mere saath, chai pi. So yeah, but then otherwise I'm totally a coffee person. I don't like tea.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, with this, we come to the end of this interview. It was such a nice and inspiring conversation with you, Anupma. And I'm sure, as I said, a lot of moms will be watching this and taking back their learnings and applying them in their lives. So, and thank you for taking out such a time to speak to us so openly about all the things that are close to you, and about you. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I really had so much fun today because, like I said, this is very different from the usual interviews I do. So, thank you so much. It was really nice sharing about my life, my thoughts with you. And I hope all the people who are watching you enjoyed and you felt that, this was worth your time. So, take
Absolutely.
care, all of you. Stay
This is
safe.
gonna add a lot of value. Thank you.